Good afternoon, November the 24th, 2014. Time to take a look at what could happen in the overnight session and the way we're going to trade it anyway. Had a good day trading. Did not have a lot of volatility to work with, except in gold and crude were probably the two markets that did best. You got like a 5 handle range in the E-mini right now. It's just kind of holding its gains. It's not doing much. So the easiest trade to see this morning was the one we called failure to get through 68.72. And here's our setup right here. We've got deceleration. You can see that volume isn't moving higher in the distribution. So you're short at 67.5, and the market traded 64 and a quarter. So you just had 3 points on that, 3 points or less. Market trades back up. We were hoping to buy 60 to 62. Came back up. We had another short in this area right here. You're short in the 66.75 area to as high as 67 and a quarter. And the market trades down to 64.50. Or maybe +1 to +2. So we don't have a lot of volatility to work with today. Another trade right here. We never did make it down to our buy area. Again, short in the 66 area. This time we make it down to just right to 64 for, again, another 1 to 2. So very, very quiet trading today. Not a heck of a lot to work with. On the buy side, you could have been long. Again, off these various setups in these different areas, right in through here. But again, you're looking at 1 to 2 points. So we did it the hard way today as scalpers, 4 to 8 ticks. Looking at the F1 screen for the E-mini, this is the long cap flow. It's an inside day. That usually yields a trading range day the next day. So this one tells us to sell failure to take out our 72.50 area, and it tells us to buy against the 20.55.57 area. We're just kind of right in the middle right now, assuming we're going to close in the 65 area. Looking at the F2 screen, which is where we adjust for the levels, definitely a B, definitely trying to trade lower. We've got pretty good selling at this value area high right here. So the easiest trade to see on this one is selling into 68, that 65, 67 area. If the market were to close right here, then our second trade would be 69 to 71. And we'd like to take out our 60, 61 level. The buy area, based on where the last rotation down, right in here, you can see this area. So 55, 57 would be the preferred buy, but we're going to have a decision to make at 60. And as quiet as the market is, given the lack of news, we might be looking at another 5 to 8 handle range tomorrow. The news tomorrow, consumer confidence is called at 96. That's a pretty good number. FHFA housing probably up 0.4 to 0.5. Haven't seen a number on that. Case-Shiller at +4.6. Then you have the second GDP revision. They're looking for 3.2. That'll be old news. So it will affect the market, but not by much. So not a lot to work with today in our major markets. I think the market is probably showing us what we've got. Today we came into this market, the note, wanting to be long because of the 2-year auction, but we can sell failure basically to get through 20 to 24, and that held up until the auction. When the auction results were released, we did trade up to 27, and we're at 26 right now. And perhaps this is hinting at some weakness in the E-mini. I wouldn't be surprised if there's weakness in the E-mini tomorrow, so they can run it down before they run it up Wednesday into the holiday. So on the note, we are buyers. Looking at the structure, you can see that this market took off when the E-mini sold off of its day session opening. I have a move pretty much out of the middle, and then after the auction, I always do an I split during auctions because that's when the auction takes place. So we have a double distribution up. This one favors the buy side also. So we got a pretty clean break right here. 24 to 20 is going to be our first band of support. And then 12 to 16 is going to be our second band of support. So leading against these areas is where we plan to take the market. Selling failure to get through 28 to the buck is an easy trade to see. And usually on this type of close, if there's going to be any selling, we'll see it start in London. They can't move the paper they need to move with a market that goes straight up. So that's the way that we will play it. And again, it's a holiday week. The market might prove to be less than quiet. We're not seeing much in the way of volumes today. The 30-year, that was especially notable. Had some gaps on that chart. Here's your I split. So you're going to sell failure to take out, we're at 4 right now. We're going to sell failure to take out 8 to 12. And then 15 to 19. On the buy side, I started at 30, so 29 to 01 will be buy 1. Very, very aggressive. Then 21 to 25 is where we'd like to get it off. And tomorrow we have the 5-year auction. And if there was going to be weakness in the Treasury market, it would be on the intermediate term. So I don't have any problems getting short in the overnight. It's based on the idea that we're going to have a trading range. Okay, gold sideways, seller at 1200, buyer against 90. Longer term, because of central bank intervention and the things get moving up. Last time we got in that 1230, 1240 areas when the central banks came in and really whacked it. So we got to be careful if we happen to get up that high. But the retail account's a buyer for the right reasons, and you can see in this distribution that we're dealing with a piece. So I think 90.92 remains good buy zone. Better at 85 to 87. May have to move this up. I think there's a chance based on what happened in London and on the opening of Globex that we might find sellers up here again in the 1200, but because it's pointed higher, we'll make sell 1 the buck to 02 and then sell 2 5 to 7. And again, the retail account is buying this complex or this contract for the right reasons. They don't like what their governments are doing for them. And one of the things that, like I said, I manage 2 small funds, cash funds, and the very, very wealthy have real estate, they have stocks, and they have fixed income. So in deflationary periods, their fixed income side performs well if they've got the right paper in it. And in inflationary times, real estate does well. And kind of leaning towards inflation, the stock market does well. So on a relative basis, they're well positioned via asset allocation that just naturally comes to them to do better than the average bear through the economic twists and turns that all economies suffer. So it's not that they're super brilliant once they've built their wealth. It's just that they're, by definition and by design, they got their hands in real estate, they got their hands in the stock market, and they've got their hands in fixed income and cash. So no matter which way the economy go, up, down, or sideways, they are, they're pretty well set. Now, historically, when you look back at it, of course, they like to have 100% real estate under high inflation, moderate low inflation, 100% stock market, maybe a little real estate, and then deflation. They want to be all in bonds, but you can't really do that, move it around like that. So here we are. Crude oil is pointed lower. I think we're pointed to 75. So I think they're probably going to try to send OPEC a message that you better cut some production, guys, or else. So we're going to buy one. It'll be stops below 75, and then 74 1/4, 74.50. Don't think the bottom falls out of the market, because OPEC probably will at least do some token production curtailment, limitations, cut quotas. Sell one, let them go get stops above 76, and then sell 50 to 75. Kind of leaning against where the structure is and was today. Okay, the euro is a little bit harder to play, because long term the fundamentals are lower, but the Japanese yen is getting whacked too, and that is somewhat supportive for the euro. The days that the yen stabilizes, we usually at least catch some light selling in the euro. The comments by the Italian ECB official didn't really make a hell of a lot of sense, but the reason I think we're up is the Japanese yen. So we're going to sell fair to get through 24.50 to 60. And then we're going to do basically a 90 to the buck. Then it gets 125 after that. On the buy side, we broke this thing out in the 20 area. We're at 41, so we'll make 10 to 20 buy one, and then 124 even, plus or minus, for buy two. And that's it for November the 24th, 2014. Share these levels right. I'll see you all bright and early in the morning. Hope you all have a great evening. Winds are blowing like the dickens here, but we're going to get back up into the high 40s, low 50s for the rest